I'm kind of having fun going down memory lane for part 3. I don't know, it's like there's a closing of a chapter in my life right now, and I kind of like just summing it up in like its own little box, so I could just be like, send it off. Yeah, I was living with my parents, paying rent every month, starting my business. And I kept feeling like I'm meant to be with this guy. I'm meant to be with this guy. Spirit would show me like he's the magician in tarot. Well, officially, he had become the magician in tarot because he was sending black magic my way. Which, at the time, every client that was coming in my business, psychically, spiritually speaking, we were all being attacked by the same sort of dark force. And we were like, what the fuck is this, though? We all were like, wait, what? This guy loved us, though. And there was so much love. And there was... Yeah, but they can't clear the karmic debt fast enough. It's like they were spiritually bombarded just like we were. I mean, you know, we all were in the same pot. We were all in the same collective. It was so dark. And the only light at the end of the tunnel I even had was this hope that maybe I wasn't crazy. Maybe this guy really did love me. And that's why he was just addicted to me in the worst ways, right? So I started to see his YouTube channel take a turn. Instead of music and him producing videos, it started to turn into just madness. Alcoholism, just talking about like the worst things in his life and only talking death over himself. And I almost just felt like so glued in to what he was experiencing that I couldn't stop watching. But then it was like there was this self-love aspect that I knew I needed to stop watching and just let him go. So I did. I loved myself enough to let him go. I didn't date, but I did meet new friends. I started to learn about witchcraft. I had to learn about what the fuck was happening to me. Like, who are these people, these gremlin goblin looking things in my dreams, in my bed? How are these people real? How are these things real? And what the fuck are they doing to me? So I learned about spells. I learned about protection. I learned about rituals. I learned about everything I could in that time. You know, all while trying to still run my business and heal trauma from the past, all at the same time, all on my own. So I actually started learning how to do return to sender. That's when things changed. That's when it kind of amped up the warfare. At first it wasn't war. It was just a broken guy sending an innocent girl pain and suffering. But then it turned into war when I fought back. So I started doing return to sender, getting evil eye bracelets, like praying for his demise. I started asking that Spirit put him in jail, that he go to prison. I asked avenging angels, my guides, ancestors. I said, put his ass in prison. That's where he deserves to be. And so that would be what I started doing. Even though we were no contact, I would visualize him on the ground with SWAT team all over his ass, putting him in a jumpsuit, an orange jumpsuit. I would see this vision over and over and over again, until one day he came to me in the astral plane, and he said, if you don't stop, I'm gonna go to jail, and if I go to prison, I'm gonna off myself. And I was like, I woke up feeling almost a little sense of guilt, but then I thought about it. I was like, criminals deserve to be in prison. The things you're doing are violating free will. The things you're doing, you're pulling on my energy and creating darkness for me. You deserve to be in jail, spiritual prison of some sort. I don't give a fuck where it is, what it is, or what you do with it, but you deserve that. So I doubled down and I kept going. Even though he told me he would do that, I kept going and going and going until one day it stopped. It just got better. There wasn't any pain really being sent my way. And I looked at his YouTube because I was like, what's changed? What's changed? And he hadn't posted. The last thing he posted, and I'm not going to put the information up, okay? I don't know. Something about him being deceased and not wanting to, I don't. The last thing he posted was that he was traveling and there was this hotel that he was staying at, and it was just chaotic. His whole life was chaotic. Things were thrown all over. You saw that his life was just in shambles. People were leaving shit all over the place in his life, and there was alcohol in the video, and it was just chaos. And that was like 2.5 to 3 years ago. So he was not doing okay. He was traveling, so I'm assuming, and he was alone in the video, so I'm assuming that at that point, I don't think he'd been with his karmic. Last thing I heard from this guy was when he sent a black fly to me. I'll never forget this. I was on a live stream with some very spiritually inclined women, and I had a gum wrapper on my table, and all of a sudden this black fly, huge black fly, shows up and just lands on the gum wrapper. And I was like, but on the live stream, I was talking with my hands and I was doing this and this, and you'd think that it would have left, but it didn't. It just stared at me. This fly was staring at me, and I was like, what the fuck? This was at the height of the dark magic, okay? And all these flies in my life, it's crazy because the flies are gone now. Absolutely gone. I don't even remember the last time I had a fly problem. So this fly was just sitting there on the wrapper, just staring at me like a monitoring spirit. But I picked it up. I picked up the gum wrapper, right? And the fly stayed there on the wrapper. Let me play with it for like 10 or 15 minutes on the stream. I remember asking the girls, I was like, is this normal? Like, this is not okay. I was like, do you guys believe me now? I was like, this is not normal, right? They're like, yeah, something's a little wrong with that situation. A fly should be scared of you and flying away. And this fly was just, I don't know, creepily staring at me with its 1,000 fucking eyes. It was so weird. And I'm just like, guys, it's letting me play with it. This is weird. That same night, a few hours later, because this was at nighttime, a few hours later, my twin flame gave me the longest message he'd ever given me in a dream, ever. It was all, everything he'd ever really felt and what he'd been wanting to say. And I think this was probably about the last time that he was alive. I'm pretty sure around there. Because it was like, I'm coming to get you. I'm never going to stop loving you. There's a pregnancy scare. She's pregnant. I got her pregnant, but I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I did. I don't know if she's cheating on me. She broke in my house. She stole all my shit. She did this and this. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow. This is when I'm actually doing okay for myself. Like, I'm trying to heal and transmute all this bullshit, and this happens. I needed the truth. Like, I needed him to confess it and say it all, but it was like, it was too far gone. He was too far gone by that point. Like, if you're sending a fly to do your bidding, man, something's wrong with that, okay? But it was the longest message I'd ever received from him, ever, in the 11 years that I've ever dreamed of him. That was certainly a messenger spirit, that fly. So it really showed me what monitoring spirits and messenger spirits are. It started showing me what the matrix really is. It started showing me what spiritual warfare is. And here's the train now. If you guys have watched my channel, he would send that train. Anytime I would think of him, boom, that train would come by. And it was so symbolic, I'm telling you. I even one time remember getting yeses or nos from him, the magician who can warp the 3D to his benefit. I remember asking him to use the train conductor's horn to say yes or no about certain things. I know it's really creepy and I know it's really weird, and a lot of you are like, why are you even fucking with this? But when your whole life is black magic, you can see it, you are in it so deep, you actually start to enjoy the lessons you're learning. You start to enjoy what you're seeing, not the feeling of it. I never liked the feeling of the pain, but I did like seeing that I wasn't alone, even in the darkness. There was something there. Technically, yeah, it was dark in nature, and that it was, fucking with me and draining my energy and my life force. But even at rock bottom, there was still something there, and something counteracting it. Something was saving me from this harshness. Something was taking me out the fucking way, okay? Something. So in a way, I started enjoying, like, the music he would send, and he would bombard my thoughts, and it would just be like an addiction that I loved. I loved knowing that he was there even at rock bottom. Like, he was there causing rock bottom, but I still kind of was okay with it. Until one day, it just stopped. It just stopped. Things got better, but it was like very weird, because at the same time that it was getting better is when I met my false twin flame. And I deduced it down to that guy's energy being around me and protecting me, but he was his own ball of wax. That there was my own problems with that guy. Okay, I still had karmic lessons I still need to learn with that guy. So it wasn't him protecting me. It wasn't his energy that was protecting me. Come to find out, what was actually protecting me was that my twin flame had taken himself out. And when you're not in the physical 3D anymore, when you're not in this world, speaking harm, casting magic, working with a coven on attacking someone, the magic stops, the black magic stops. And plus I had found out that my twin went to the other side and went to the light. And he's now a soul walk-in, and he came back. And when you're a soul walk-in and you've already gone to the light, like he'd gone to the other side, he'd purified his soul, he chose love, right? And the magic stopped. But now I had my own other bullshit I had to deal with, and that I still was in the thick of it with a false twin flame. That was more for my own personal. That was just like, that was bad. That was a soulmate from a past life. And so I had my issues I had to work out with him. But yeah, by the time I ended up working that out, my twin flame had, become a soul walk-in. So the one that was sending all the black magic, died and came back to life. I know what you're thinking. Sounds like somebody you've read about in the Bible. I completely agree. So yeah, that's why the black magic stopped. That's why the curse stopped. That's why I talk about Jesus so much. That's why I love Christ consciousness. That's why I love the story of Christ. Straight up. Literally straight up. I talk about the resurrection for a reason. I talk about shit like that for a reason. Because it's all symbolic. The Bible was not meant to be taken literally. It is a symbol of us. It is a symbol of all of us. I mean, my story just happens to be a little bit more extreme and a little bit more maybe hard to believe. I know a lot of people probably don't believe me, and that's okay. I'm not here to make people believe. I'm here to share my story to help those who already believe, and to give them comfort and hope that something similar could happen, and that all that black magic that's sent can one day just poof, vanish. And I'm not saying like we should all hope for somebody to be, no. I don't think suicide is the answer. I definitely do not. I would never condone that. Nor would I condone violence or homicide. Nor would I don't condone death at all. That's the whole point. I don't want anyone to die. I want everyone to live. I want us all to have everlasting life. I want all of us to know what it's like to truly be free. And I guess that's why I share my testimony so readily and so openly, is that I am free. I am free. I was once not, and now I am. So there's hope to any twin flame. You've got that monster called your twin flame just harassing you, stalking you. That shit's real. Yeah, it's real. Doesn't mean they hate you. It means they're a troubled soul. It means you guys have karma in some way. So I don't know. I just realized after all of that with the karma that the universe keeps score. Karma is a real thing. We must have done something heinous in a past life. We did, actually. I found out later that we bound ourselves using a spell in a past life. It was so extensive. The spell that he and I did in a past life was so intense that I needed a certain dialect, a certain channeled language in order to break it. I know it goes that's a whole different story for a different day. But I definitely understand how people get intensely scared to talk about this stuff. Your testimony, sharing that with the world, it's hard to believe. Black magic, seances, and the one thing that I know the community is known for, the twin flame community, is adamantly talking about: do not get invested in anyone who's abusing you. Twin flame or Santa Claus, if they treat you like that, run for the fucking hills, honey. And that's exactly what I did. I kept rejecting the devil. I kept resisting the devil. I kept resisting evil. Even though he was my twin flame, even though I loved him, I kept saying, nope, 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 you're not welcome in my life. You're not welcome in my life. I had to voluntarily choose it, because the magic that he was sending, he was certainly not about to be the one to turn away. I had to be the one to turn him away. So I will say that the twin flame community that I like here is that there are at least responsible readers who are like, please love yourself enough to not choose an abuser. Because yeah, twin flames can be abusers. And I've said this before, your real true twin flame though would never harm you. And if you think about what a true twin flame is, it's your soul. It is the light within you. It is light. It is consciousness. It is the I am. It is Christ energy, right? That I am presence will never hurt you. It's everything else convoluted around that innocence. And it's warfare, it's covens, it's karma, it's black magic rituals, it's heartbreak, it's pain, it's divorce, it's cheating, it's STDs, it's everything else that is not love. It's everything else that is causing them to be that way. Again, I'm not excusing it. There is no excuse. That shit is heinous and nobody should want it in their life. And I didn't want it in my life, and I did something about it. So I'm here to tell you that there is life after black magic. There is a way out of this. There is so much hope. There's so much hope for those of you who feel like you're being tormented by your twin. It's true. I mean, you are. You're not crazy. One of the things that pissed me off the most was believing I was crazy and having everybody look at me like I had 3 heads, because I would be like, look, a fucking fly. And then I would tell them, he talked to me in my dreams. People thought I was insane. And then you have the jealous ones. On the other hand, this is what really pissed me off. There were so many women who were jealous that he would be approaching me even in the darkness, like in the negative way that he was approaching me. They were jealous that I was suffering this way. I was like, this is beyond fucking twisted. This is beyond warped. This is beyond hell. This is You can't even make friends at that level, because the people that you're around are either experiencing it the same as you, or they're jealous that you get to have somebody approaching you like that. Like, that's fucking twisted. I remember my mom, she was in that camp, very jealous that my twin was not giving up on me. You know, she kept, because she was karmic. She was my karmic, you know, a karmic soulmate, my mom was. And so she would try to be supportive, but it was never supportive. It would be like, you deserve better. He's this and he's that. And he would say like really sweet things to me. And she had no choice. She had to be karmic in nature. She would be like, oh, nobody says that. That's weird. That's a red flag. He's just weird. And technically speaking, it was love what he was saying. But she was right in that there was a lot of red flags in that one. There was a lot of red flags in him in general. Doesn't mean, though, that she had any less red flags. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember having this, like, overwhelming sense of, I need to let everybody go and resist everybody's evil because this is all bullshit. And I just kept doing that. I kept choosing me. Loving me. Loving me. Loving me. Return to center, return to center, return to center. Don't want you, don't want you, don't want you. Every day. For years. For years. Alone. Doing this alone. And I am now the strongest woman I know. And I am now going to be given eternal life. I am now going to be happy as a clam every single day the rest of my fucking life because I just survived hell on earth. So now I get to have heaven on earth. So my twin, like I said, went to the other side. He went into the light, and he's now a soul walk-in, which means that his soul agreed to be in a vessel, a physical body, and come back. So if you watch part 1 of this morning, it's in part 1 if you want to go listen to that. But yeah, he incarnated. You can't call it incarnation, I guess, because that starts at birth. This was a soul walk-in. He took over a fully functioning human adult male body, and agreed to, one soul left, didn't want to be here anymore, and he agreed to be a soul walk-in to help me on this mission. So, to pay off karma, because he fucking ruined my life, so he has to pay karma back for it. So, you know, we're here, he's here now to do that for me, and I'm here to just live my life, drink my tea, and know that I'm the shit. That's it. No flies, no rodents, no pests, no incubus, no aliens touching me, literally probing me. No, none of that shit. Just simply me enjoying my coffee, reading some tarot cards, talking about my life, and that's it. Being an empress. That's literally all I'm going to do for the rest of my days. That's it. So, is it a crazy story? Yeah. Most are, that are anything worth watching anyway. But yeah, this one is a little intense. I can't imagine everybody believing this. I don't care if everybody believes this. It's not for everybody to believe. It's for me to believe. It's for me to believe. And, well, hopefully him one day. Pretty sure he kind of already suspects, because I mentioned it to him, and I said, well, in a roundabout way, like, do you feel different? Like, do you feel like you're him, my friend from years ago? Do you feel like you're that guy, though? I implied it. You know, I didn't want to be all like, hey, so I think you're a new soul. Like, I think you're a different soul in that body, and I think you left and then you came back. Isn't that so cool? I didn't say it verbatim, but I implied to him that I think he's a soul walk-in. And I do recall him saying, like, yeah, there was an event that took place a couple years ago. Something happened. And he didn't go into detail because you could tell it fucked him up. Like, whatever it was, you can tell. I don't know what it was. I think a couple people might know, like his friends might know, but he didn't tell me yet. I'm sure one day maybe he would. He probably by now realizes I'm a big mouth, so I'm sure he probably won't tell me. I don't know. Anyway, good thing about your twin flame is it's the same soul, so he's a big mouth too. We don't have secrets. He overshares everything, just like I do. What he ate for breakfast. The fact that he just farted. He literally shares everything, and it's like, it's a little TMI. Like, not everybody needs to know, you know? But yet everybody does. And I think that that's what's really cool, is we both are open books, and we both just, like, word vomit every day. And, you know. So, I guess it is what it is. Point is, there's a lot of hope now for me. And I guess I just want to share my testimony. Share my story. It's crazy as shit. Yeah, it is. I mean, from start to finish, my whole life has been insane. I mean, from the second I was born, shit was going weird. That's another story. I'll tell you guys about that one day. But yeah, every single minute of my fucking existence on planet Earth has been weird as hell. And it doesn't make sense. I'm either a really great storyteller and a liar and a deceiver, or I'm telling the truth and I'm chosen for something. I'll let you decide, because it's not really up to me to decide for you. It's up to me to share my story and get the fuck out of bad karma, because I just want a better life for myself. I don't want to suffer anymore. I'm tired of it. I mean, you can only be probed by aliens so many times against your will before you're like, you know what, fuck that, fuck you. I'm out of here. So yeah, whether you believe me or not, I don't care. The ones that believe me already. The ones that don't, won't. I don't care. I'm not here for validation anymore. I'm here for Judgment Day. I'm here to cleanse and purify my soul. I'm here to just like, bleh, and just go higher and higher and higher. That's all I want to do. Because once you've been dead, once you have literally been to the other side, and your ego has been dissolved, you're like, I don't give a shit anymore about anything. I just want to go home. I just want to be at one with God. I don't care about anything else. I care about my soul. I care about waking up tomorrow and feeling good with myself. Like, knowing that I am doing the right thing. And this, me sharing my story, is doing the right thing. Because this world, it's hopeless. People are hopeless. People are in pain. Especially in this spiritual community, especially in my neck of the woods, which is, my niche is the twin flame community, like a small little teeny tiny group of twin flames. In that collective, I can help. I can help by showing you, look how bad it can be, and look how good it can get. Resist the devil and he shall flee from you. Just keep resisting that shit every single day. When, you know, you're getting this black magic and you're being tormented, just keep sending it back. Return to sender, return to sender, return. Visualize that person in a jumpsuit. I kept saying to the universe, he can't do spells in jail. He won't have coven mates in jail. He won't have his crew in the slammer. He'll have other people to talk to, but they sure shit won't be doing spells with him. So send him there, send him there. And I kept visualizing it, and I kept saying, that's what you deserve, that's what you deserve, that's what you deserve, until the point where he had to, I guess I'm that powerful. I sent his ass to prison. Didn't even have to call a judge, didn't even have to call the police. That's how powerful I am. So don't fuck with me anytime soon, anybody. Don't try it. Look, and that's another thing. That's another thing. Nobody can try it. The one I loved more than life itself betrayed me. He was my Judas. More than life itself, I love that guy. I would have taken him back in a heartbeat. Even though it was all that nastiness, I still would have done it. Which is why I'm glad that God didn't make me do it. And I didn't deserve to have to do it, but I would have. That's how much I loved him. If I loved that guy that much, unconditionally, and he betrayed me like that, and that was the worst magic I've ever faced, I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. And that's when you truly become invincible. That's when you become powerful. That's when you know you are the shit. Illuminati, suck my big toe. Secret covens, secret societies, even fucking governmental agencies, CIA, these like little flying fuckers in the sky. Fuck you. No, it'll never, ever, ever scare me again. What's there to be afraid of? Nothing. Nothing. Everything is different. Everything is different since this happened. What used to be so much, pain and suffering, and in 2019 everybody was like, oh, it's this, and the government's this, and there's conspiracy theories, and there's all this panic, and chemtrails, and this. It's like, there's no chemtrails anymore. All I have to do is think about sunny days if it's raining, and like 20 minutes later, clouds part and the sun comes out. It's crazy. There could literally be 5 days worth of rain in the fucking forecast, and I'm like, nope, it's not gonna rain. And then I'll look next time, and it'll be like 30% chance of showers, and it won't even happen. I'm telling you, things are looking up for me, and things are looking up for the whole collective. If you believe, if you want to believe, if you don't want to believe, don't. But I'm sharing my story so one day you can believe that maybe yours can get better. Mine was heinous. And I vlogged mine the whole time. The whole time I showed my story on YouTube. like my story has been publicly shown. If you look up false twin flame, if you look up twin flame abuse, if you look up black magic, twin flames, you will see my face on Google. I've been doing this for a minute. I'm here to give you guys good news. The good news, sharing the testimony, sharing the gospel, the real true good news, he has risen. Who is he? Christ. Christ within all of us. Especially Christ within my twin flame. He is risen. He's not dead. He lives. Which means that he lives and blesses me instead, because that boy will be doing nothing but worshiping the ground I walk on, honey, for the next 50,000 million lifetimes. He's got some karma he needs to pay off, and he will be worshiping me as a goddess. You must believe that. But yeah, no, he is risen. He's not a fallen angel anymore. It's the prodigal son returned. Whatever you call it in the good book, it's happening. Whatever the book of Revelation is, whoever Jesus is, yes, that shit's happening. That shit's real. So I'm just nobody trying to tell everybody all about somebody who saved my soul. And who is that one that saved my soul? Me. By every single fucking day saying, I don't want your ass. I don't want your ass. I don't want your ass. Go to jail. Go to jail. Go to jail. I resisted the devil when the devil looked like my twin flame. So now I get to have God when God looks like my twin flame. I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Thanks for watching.